I know it might not seem like it, especially since I have a record of saying that I'm not a huge reader, but I actually read quite a bit. And so for today's video, I thought it would be a fun little thing if I showed you every single book I own. And it's all right here. This is every book I own. Spectacular literary classics like Chicken Soup for the Soul, Good Deeds. I genuinely read this relatively recently, in the last few years, probably the last book that I read all the way through. It being 75 pages probably has something to do with it, and that my great-grandmother gave it to me saying I should read it, and I was on a plane for 5 hours and had nothing else to do. A free comic book day book that I paid for because I wasn't there for the comic book day. This is when I still liked Avatar and Legends of Korra, and it wasn't overhyped and remade for a second time in live action. Yu-Gi-Oh! Monster Duel Official Handbook. This taught me so much about life, and whenever I have a burning question about Star Wars, Googling it is not nearly as exciting or fulfilling than looking it up in a book and reading about it. That's why I have Episode 1 Visual Dictionary. And only the Episode 1 Visual Dictionary. Anything else outside of that's just not necessary. Oh, all-time classic, Bionicle, The Bohrok Arrive. Awake? I never once opened this. Whenever I'm on the go and I have a pressing Star Wars question that I need answered, I have the pocket edition of the Star Wars Visual Dictionary. Again, just for Episode 1. Everything I've ever learned about survival and living in the wilderness comes from this book. Because of this book, I know the difference between raccoon and deer crap and which one's safe to eat. Whenever I need to know how to make sushi, I just look at this book and remember that time that I picked it up from a thrift store and have never once used it or have never once attempted to make sushi. But if I ever needed to, I have my thrift store sushi book. Of course, there's nothing more cozy than curling up on a rainy day reading the guide to Pokemon Emerald that I cut the back out of to get the badges. Someone's middle school yearbook, probably mine, maybe. Jesus, I was not a pretty boy. Probably one of the last books that I've cracked open, An Atlas of Extinct Countries by someone or another. I got into reading this. I plan on finishing it, but I only got 38 pages in, which is about as much as I expected and a lot less than I thought. Oh, that's kind of endearing. A little golden book. Things for young readers to start dipping their toes in the world of literature. Yeah, it's Pokemon Mewtwo Strikes Back. You can't go wrong with the Essential Calvin and Hobbes collection. Is this all of them? I have no idea. Have I read through this? Oh, yes. Recently? Not answering that. Free Comic Book Day Sonic the Hedgehog. It shows Sonic X characters, but it actually has something completely different. And that was my book girly shelf tour of every single book that I own. I hope you appreciate this journey that we went on, and if there's any other books that you have questions about that I just didn't dive deep enough, please let me know.